I was just newly ordained, and I still remember his furious face. I was sitting in front of my room and I saw a man coming towards me with a knife. He rushed, he came, and he shouted, "Father, I am going to kill her. Father, I am going to kill her." Spontaneously, I asked, "Whom are you going to kill?" With his large eyes, he shouted, "My mother." And he was pacing up and down. I tried to calm him down, but no sign of change. I was thinking in all the way I could. Then I was feeling helpless. I prayed, "Lord, help me." With the time, he was feeling okay. His voice was getting normal and the volume of his voice was okay. And he began to narrate his story. His mother sold all her property to someone and gave the money to all her siblings, excluding him. The disciples in the boat were just like me. They were feeling helpless. They were feeling hopeless. They looked for an answer. They looked around. It was just the sea. And they looked at their master. Look, he was fast asleep on a cushion. That's where they shouted, "Master, don't you care that we are perishing?" Mark writes this story of Jesus calming down the storm with a beautiful introduction. Just before that, we hear the parable of the mustard seed. And there, Jesus tells, and Mark writes, let me read it for you. He, that means Jesus, would not teach them without parables, but privately to his disciples, he explained everything. But privately to his disciples, he explained everything. Jesus makes use the sea to bring disciples into a deeper faith. Being Jews, they were believing sea was a place of monsters and demons. They were very much afraid with the sea, and with this storm, their minds were triggered, and they were thinking about those monsters coming up to catch them. They looked around. There was no technology like today. There was no escape. It's the sea. So they looked at their hero, and he was just asleep, like what we feel right now. I'm 100% sure most of you who are here have the same experience of life and death situations. Maybe death of your family member or a loved one, or a serious illness of yours or of a friend, or a friend, or a problem that you could not find any solution, that you were caught up, you had no answer. You were trying to escape by referring to the parents, the family members, or the technology, but you could not find a way out. Like the disciples, you and I were feeling helpless. that is where faith comes. That is exactly where that our personal prayer come into action. Whatever we feel in our hearts or in our minds, we, just like the disciples, or in my way, we try to present to God. In their time, it was the prayer, Master, don't you feel we are perishing? Or in my case, it was just, Lord, help me. In your case, I don't know. But there is a kind of way out. Giving up to God all our hearts and minds, just like the disciples. I have a beautiful example of a woman who wrote a beautiful hymn, who was in that desperate moment. And I know all of you know this hymn. Help me, Lord Jesus, I am only human. Help me believe what I could be and all that I am. We realize that we are human beings, and we let God to come into our hearts and to act upon us or act upon the situation. This Sunday, Pope Francis teaches us the same thing. He teaches us prayer strengthens us all. Then let us bring all our troubled hearts and minds in front of our Eucharistic Lord and say to Him, help me, Lord Jesus, I am only human. Help me believe what I could be and all that I am. And whisper to Him, Jesus, I trust in you.